Now, what happened to the switch knife? He claims that it fell through a hole in his pocket on the way to the movies sometime between 11:30 and 3:10, and that he never saw it again. Now, there is the tale, gentlemen. I think it's quite clear that the boy never went to the movies that night. No one in the house saw him go out at 11:30. No one at the theater identified him. He couldn't even remember the names of the pictures he saw. What actually happened is this. The boy stayed home, had another fight with his father, stabbed him to death, and left the house at 10 minutes after 12. He even remembered to wipe the knife clean of fingerprints. Now, are you trying to tell me that this knife really fell through a hole in the boy's pocket? Someone picked it up off the street, went to the boy's house, and stabbed his father with it just to test its sharpness?
No, I'm just saying it's possible the boy lost his knife and that somebody else stabbed his father with a similar knife. It's just possible.
Take a look at this knife. It's a very unusual knife. I've never seen one like it. Neither had the storekeeper who sold it to the boy. Aren't you asking us to accept a pretty incredible coincidence?
I'm just saying a coincidence is possible.
And I say it's not possible.
Where did that come from? It's the same knife.
Think you're doing?
Where did you get it?
I went out walking for a couple of hours last night. I walked through the boy's neighborhood. I bought that in a little pawn shop just 2 blocks from the boy's house. It cost $6.
It's against the law to buy or sell switchblade knives.
That's right, I broke the law.
Listen, you pulled a real bright trick. Now, supposing you tell me what it proves. Maybe there are 10 knives like that, so what?
Maybe there are.
Well, what does it mean? You found another knife like it. What's that, the discovery of the age or something?
You mean you're asking us to believe that somebody else did the stabbing with exactly the same kind of knife?
The odds are 1,000,000 to 1.
It's possible.
But not very probable.
Okay, fellas, let's take our seats. There's no point standing around all over the place.
You know, it's interesting that he'd find a knife exactly like the one the boy bought.
What's interesting about it? Interesting.
I don't know, I just thought it was interesting. A little, and as long as we're stuck. Well, there was this whole business about the stab wound and how it was made. The downward angle of it, you know.
Don't tell me we're going to start with that again. They've been over it and over it.
Well, I know they did, but I don't go along with it. Now, the boy was 5 feet 7 inches tall. His father was 6'2". That's a difference of 7 inches. It's a very awkward thing to stab down into the chest of someone who's more than half a foot taller than you are.
Give me that. I'll give you a demonstration. Somebody get up. I want you to watch this because I don't want to have to do it again. I'll make myself about 6 or 7 inches shorter, okay?
It's about right, maybe a little more.
Okay, a little more.
What's it all
funny. Nobody's hurt. Right?
Right, nobody hurt.
Now, this is the way I'd stab a man who was taller than I was. Look at the angle. Down and in. And this is the way it was done. Now, tell me I'm wrong.
Down and in, I guess there's no argument.
Well, hold on a minute, will you? Give me that.
Boy, I hate these things. Did you ever see a knife fight?
No.
You? No? Anybody here ever see a knife fight? Well, I have. You know, on my back stoop, a lot across the street, backyard. Switchblades came with the neighborhood where I lived. Funny, I never thought of it before. I guess you try to forget those things.
How do you use a switchblade?
Well, he'd never use it like this. See, you lose too much time switching hands. Here's how. Underhanded. Anyone who's ever used a switch knife wouldn't handle it any other way.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. That's why they made it open like that.
You'd say the boy was pretty handy with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
You think he could have made the kind of wound that killed his father?
No. Now, with the experience he'd had all his life handling these things, I feel he'd have gone for him underhanded.
How do you know? Were you in the room when the father was killed?
No. Neither was anybody else.
What are you giving us all this mumbo-jumbo for? I don't believe it.
I don't think you can determine what type of wound the boy might or might not have made simply because he knew how to handle a knife.
What do you think?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know.